Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to my channel, Bro Gets Rich, where I talk about stocks, crypto, and real estate investing on my quest to make passive income and get rich. Today, we're going to go and I'm going to give you an update on one of my stock portfolios. Also, shortly this week, I'm going to make an update on my dividend growth investing ETF portfolio because that one's been growing and my dividends have been growing, and a lot of people like to hear about that as well. But let's get into this stock portfolio update. All right, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you like talking about building wealth and if you are trying to get rich like me. Anyways, in this account, I have $532 of buying power, stocks I own, Amazon, Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF, Microsoft, SCHD, which I don't know why it wouldn't give me. These are my total returns, and I don't know, it just wouldn't load this SCHD information for whatever reason. I think I'm up like 10% on it. Tesla, which is the only position I'm down on, down 20%. We'll talk about Tesla, VIG, and VOO. And so there's really only a few things I've actually actively been buying in this portfolio. Been kind of chipping away at this FBTC position, seeing if I can possibly get up to 300 shares now of FBTC. At first I had 100, and then I was like, I want 200, and now I'm feeling kind of like making a run at 300, especially with the little dip Bitcoin is having right now. And this is definitely a long-term hold for me. None of this is financial advice, only entertainment. But, if I could get 300 shares of FBTC, sit on it for 10 to 15 years, and then, maybe start to kind of sell some covered calls on some of it or something like that, that would be pretty sick because as, a lot of people cannot afford, one Bitcoin today. It's like 70 grand. In 10 years, it's probably going to be $1 million or who knows. Owning 100 shares of FBTC is probably going to be out of reach for some people at that point. There's always just these different little price catalysts and, mentality when it comes to Bitcoin. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. The other thing that I have been buying is averaging down on my Tesla position. So you can see this is my Tesla position. I think Tesla actually ran up a little bit from when I took this screenshot. So sitting on about 50 shares. Now with this, it'd be cool to kind of get to 100. I don't know. I think Tesla's going to have for sure like a beaten down Q1, Q2, the delivery numbers came out. They were a little underwhelming, but if you have like a 5-10 year outlook on Tesla like I do, not really that big of a deal. So I've just been buying like $25, $50 of Tesla every day in this account, trying to stack that up. And, I'm going to continue to do that like until I get kind of back to even at my cost base. Once I even out again on this cost basis, like if I get my cost basis down to $200 and Tesla gets back to $200, like I'm going to stop. There's just some other things I want to do with my money, and we'll get into, the next position that I'm going to add to this portfolio shortly. And so the next thing I'm going to do in this portfolio is I'm going to start just averaging into, probably $25 a day for the long term into Invesco's QQQ. Obviously, it's a very heavily traded ETF, and it is comprised of mostly the top 10 positions are Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Alphabet Class A, Alphabet Class C, Tesla, and Costco. So out of these stocks, the only ones I actually own individually right now are Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla. So this will give me a lot of exposure to these other big tech names. It'll take a lot of the stress out of things. I do believe that Tesla could make, first of all, a lot of people shit on Tesla, but let's be honest, they're not going bankrupt. And if you kind of believe in all the different S-curves that they're in and all the lines of business that they're in, I do believe it's worth me holding this Tesla position for 10 years just to see how it plays out. But I'm not really looking to go all in on one stock. I'm looking to build a well-diversified portfolio. And eventually, you can so in QQQ is a heavily traded stock. There's a lot of options activity. So I definitely wanted to get to a point where I have, 100 shares worth, or I can accumulate 100 shares worth of QQQ, so I can kind of start trading this wheel strategy that I've talked about on my channel before. If you want to trade the wheel, just one contract right now with QQQ, you're looking at based on this share price, about $43,500 starting cost, which it seems a lot for a lot of people. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but I'm going to build my way up to that. And someday, hopefully, I will be writing covered calls and buying cash secured puts on QQQ on the channel for you. Because honestly, you can generate a couple $100 a week passive if you can get to that point, and that's what I'm looking to do. All right, so getting into some news, kind of just where my mind's at with investing these days and kind of long-term stuff. So the Bitcoin halving's in a couple weeks, April 19th, I believe it is. Rajat Soni, so this guy I've been following, I don't know if I butchered his name, I'm sorry if I did, sir, but he's been having some really, really cool analytical tweets on Bitcoin, and I thought this one was really, really interesting. It says, one of the main reasons why you can't afford a house. The wealthy people, like Dave Ramsey, use homes as savings accounts. You are their cash flow. As they buy more houses than they need, the market price of real estate rises. Dave owns thousands of rentals. Bitcoin takes attention away from real estate as an investment/savings vehicle. People like Dave want you to stay away from Bitcoin, so you keep working hard to buy real estate because you are his exit liquidity. You start focusing on Bitcoin equals decreased demand for real estate equals prices go down equals Dave's portfolio suffers. Do you get it yet? And so I definitely, I do own a couple real estate properties and I would like to own more someday. Real estate is not a focus of mine right now. I've really been going hard into my Robinhood dividend growth ETF portfolio, which I will share an update on with you guys next video. But I definitely think right now Bitcoin for me is more of a focus because all these boomers own so much of this real estate wealth and they are going to look to dump it on us probably at some point. So I like Dave Ramsey. I think he has a lot of good takes on things, but yeah, for me personally, not focused on real estate right now. And then kind of further extrapolating on that last tweet, we have Robert Kiyosaki said, who is right? Oh, picking on Dave Ramsey again, ironically too. My friend Dave Ramsey says live debt-free. I say use debt to invest. I am $1.2 billion in debt. Again, who is right? My answer is for most people with low financial acumen, Dave's advice is the smarter advice. For the financially educated and experienced, my advice may be better. I know you're smart enough to know whose advice is best for you. Take care. And like I said, I've read some of Dave Ramsey's books when I was first starting out, and I do like Dave Ramsey. I think he's funny. I think when he goes off on people sometimes on his channel, it's pretty funny. But, for me personally, I'm more in the Robert Kiyosaki line. Like, you definitely need to know how to manage your risk and not do anything stupid. But, like, for me personally, like, I am in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, mortgage debt, on properties I own at reasonable interest rates. And, I have enough money where if something goes wrong with them, I can, I'll be okay. So I don't mind. But like I said, I'm not focused on real estate right now, really focusing on this dividend growth ETF portfolio, compounding the shit out of that and building my passive income that way, and Bitcoin because I am a Bitcoiner. Little ironic, funny tweet from Alex Hormozi, how to stay poor, do what your poor friends do and expect to get rich. And, I can't say this enough, like, you have to be different, you have to think different, you have to act differently, you have to do different things with your money if you want to be rich and successful. And it's not easy, don't get me wrong. All right, and because I am all over Bitcoin's nuts, Samson Mow, every 10 minutes, a Bitcoin block is produced with a 6.25 BTC block reward. Every 10 minutes, the U.S. national debt increases by 1,000 BTC. And these are just numbers that people aren't putting into perspective yet. Nobody still understands Bitcoin, and I'm not like, all my chips are not in Bitcoin, but I do believe in Bitcoin, and I definitely have enough to where if it does what I think it could do, I should be pretty happy. But also, if it goes to zero, I'm not totally fucked. So that's that. Kind of a scary tweet, but very true from Tom Bilyeu. In his unique way, Ray Dalio is screaming at the top of his lungs that our current approach of printing money to deal with debt is dysfunctional and will need to be reset. Historically, the reset button is violence. And so that's kind of a worry of a lot of people. Definitely a worry of mine. Like if the U.S. gets to some crazy place where our currency is just totally debased and we can't ever, we're totally screwed in terms of debt, like, some kind of crazy war scenario just to kind of be able to wipe the slate clean and kind of blame it on something else. Hope it doesn't get to that point. But we'll see. We're humans. We're crazy. So keep your fingers crossed. So like I said, that's what I've been buying in this portfolio. Not really going to add, unless we see some crazy kind of tech crash, then I might buy some more individual Amazon shares or Microsoft shares. Like I said, just kicking it, averaging down in Tesla, and then really just going, this VIG and VOO, there's not really any reason for me to buy them in this portfolio anymore because I'm allocating to things like that in this Robinhood dividend portfolio that I started. So basically, I'm just averaging down in Tesla, nipping away at FBTC, and then I'm going to, once I even out my, get to my average cost of Tesla, I'm going to focus everything basically to QQQ, build that position up, start kind of getting a cost basis going, and then hopefully at some point in the next few years I can get up to $45,000, $50,000 of QQQ and start making some options income. Anyway, that is not investment advice. My name is Bro Gets Rich. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace out.